Hi, I'm Daniel Sturridge and you're watching Redmen TV.
Hello, welcome to Redmen TV. It's the Uncensored match build-up show. Liverpool taking on Man City again. Yes, we're here to talk about it, which is amazing. Aubrey Reynolds is here. Martin Finnigan, coming over from Blue Moon Rising TV, is here to provide a sky blue perspective on things, which is a metaphor, I think, also for happiness.
Yes.
And John Machin's here as well. So let's get stuck into it. Aubrey, first and foremost. Here we go again.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? I know I've talked with Martin off camera about it. We just swapped the results. I hope we win on Wednesday now because I always want Liverpool to win and I also wanted to rectify it, but I'd have rather took the League Cup because I don't really see us doing much in the league this year. Yourselves are going for the league, you could still win the title, so you want that one. So it's not really worked how the script would imagine, you know. There's going to be a bit of needle in there. We don't want them to come to Anfield and turn us over.
I think more so. Hopefully. I really think there's got to be a reaction from the Liverpool team to some extent.
We saw it with Chelsea, didn't we? In when they beat us in the cup, and we actually beat them at home, and in the league, and ultimately it meant nothing. But at least we didn't get beat by them, and it put that to it. So hopefully there is a reaction. I think there are some players who need to step up just because. We're becoming there's an element of bottling it about our squad. You know, they bottled it in the semi-final against Villa last year. They bottle it? They didn't win in the cup this time. So let's go out there and throw marker down and actually be like, no, we can go toe-to-toe with a really good team and actually play quite well.
It's a weird one, isn't it, Martin? Because realistically, look, silverware's silverware. So I think both clubs really wanted to win that, and it was important for both teams to win it because. Nice for Pellegrini to get a few bits and pieces in the cabinet before and then he can leave with a bit of that to Pep on the way out. But in terms of this game, there's far more riding on it for Man City. I think in terms of who really is desperate for the points, in terms of what your ambitions are for the league campaign, I guess. But does this maybe add more pressure on you? Do you think off the back of it because? I would say you're expected to win it as much, but there will be. You think there would be a response from Liverpool in this game?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm honest, if we lose this game, I'm pretty sure the league's gone. And the reason that is that Tottenham are showing no let up at the minute, and Leicester, everybody keeps saying, "Oh, this will be the game. This will be the game." Score a last-minute goal, this weekend, and it's a sign of teams that go and win things that do that. I think from a City perspective, what I'd say about the League Cup scenario is that we get into this mould that City are winning things free and easily. Then not everything's come, quite hard. So the League Cup for us is a massive deal. Yeah. It's a huge deal for us to have got some silverware on the board, and also off the backdrop of playing the kids against Chelsea, we'd have gone out of 2 competitions, so it had gone from 4 to 2, and one of them, realistically, are we up with Bayern Munich and Barcelona yet? No. So on our day, we might be able to scrape something from a game like that. Yeah. But the reality is then you're just left with the Premier League, and suddenly, if we were to lose against you guys, 9 points behind, it's a lot to make up. Yeah. And I think you've got to go and show some fight and some battle off what happened at the weekend. I thought you put in a pretty reasonable performance against us. If I'm honest, there was a lot of positivity. You go 1-0 behind, you got back to 1-1, you were in it right to the death. So nobody's got beaten 3-0 or 4-1 like we did at the Etihad. And I'm still hopeful that in the Premier League they're mindful of the fact that was our last Premier League performance against you lot, because we can't afford to. If we were to draw, there's a glimmer, but if we're to get beat, I think it's gone.
It's a weird one for us, isn't it? That because. It's all well and good us kind of go, well, we need to have a performance. It's still it's not as simple as that, I guess, is it? The Man City, as we've seen, very, very good team, and our home form hasn't been there this season, so there's a lot of expectation.
Well, I think it's a must-win game for City and not a must-game win for us. The league is probably irrelevant to us now, to be honest. It's only about proving that you're worthy of a place come summer. City, I don't think City have got a cat and hell chance of winning the Premiership this year. I think Tottenham and Leicester have established they're going to be in the top 4. City are fighting for one of the other 2 specs. And I think they're going to, if they get beat by us, they're going to struggle.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the interesting
the fact
thing
is, they've got Pep Guardiola coming in next year. What if they're not in the Champions League?
Well, that's a big pressure.
And that's a possibility now that United have suddenly found out to score goals again.
Yeah.
They're not that. They're only 3 points behind City. So if City get beat tomorrow,
It's an interesting point.
Wednesday rather, whenever it is.
Oh, tomorrow.
I forget what day it
It's
is.
an interesting point. It's an interesting point though, because we could be sick if we win this. We're only 6 points behind you, and I know what we've. This has been the eternal thing for Liverpool this season. We go, oh, we're only 6 points behind, and then it becomes 9, and then it becomes 12, and then we're not asked anymore. But this is we're saying this, and I think the feeling among Liverpool fans, Aubrey, is that the league's kind of done, but it's not. You know, and the fact of the matter is, the League Cup was always going to be over on Sunday, one way, whether win or lose it. There's the Europa League, and everyone's going, well, focus on the Europa League. Oh, yeah, just focus on winning the Europa League, which is actually a really hard competition to win. No, we need to make a good fist of it now. There should be no more excuses. We don't need to. It's the run-in now. This is the final, stretch to the end of the season. Liverpool should be going out there and looking to beat as many teams as possible between now and May, just for us. More than anything else.
It's a different type of pressure, isn't it? We sat here last week talking about it, and your dad said the point of, if we go out on Thursday against Augsburg and then we win or lose the League Cup, the season's over because there's no more big games. And what are we going to do in the league? I think realistically, top 4's out of our hands. So the new pressure is prove that you can be at this club.
Yeah.
Now, in the short term, it's prove we've got players coming back from injury. Prove that you deserve to start against United in the Europa League, because that is undoubtedly a big game. And I know what you're saying, but United are beatable. Not by us, apparently, because we haven't beat in the 2 games we've played against them. We haven't beat them. But
We never beat them in cups either, so that's a real problem.
So hopefully we can do it. And then you're kicking into it's the quarters then, isn't it? And, good teams will fall. You're only 3 games away from getting to another final. So that's the prize, but also the prize is proof that you deserve to stick around. Klopp, who knows, it's been a long time since he did it, but I think the stat was something like there was 18 ins and outs in his first window when he was at Dortmund, when he took over. So he strikes me as someone who wouldn't be afraid to basically do a cull. They've got to keep going. They can't have what happened.
The players' wild card in the summer.
Imagine, just.
I keep coming back to this though, and again, I keep saying it's not. I'm less asked about your Emre Cans and your Kleins and your whatevers in this team. It's the fact that in the big games, our big players need to step up and look. Coutinho continues to step up in the big games, so I've got no fears about him. He's done it again, scored a very important goal at the weekend. But that, I can't see Daniel Sturridge starting this game, to be fair. But somebody...
I really don't think he should start, because he needs to be rested.
But somebody needs to step up and be held accountable, in terms of the attack and play.
We've shown we can score goals, even against City, if you create the chances. Now, against City in the Capital One Cup, we didn't create a chance until we scored. If we're going to beat them, we've got to find a way of getting forwards free so they can actually shoot. Yeah. And of course this time they'll have Hart to worry about rather than Caballero. But we're at home. We're bound to be up for it because all those players will want to get City's scalp after losing the final. So, and Klopp will definitely not let them rest. He will say, every game is there to be won, and I expect us to go out and try and win it. So there'll be no rest in it, I don't think, between now and the end of the season. Whether we're under pressure in the league games, I'm not really sure. I think individuals might be, but as a team, we've not really got anything to lose, have we, in the league?
Well, I think personally Liverpool as a proposition at Anfield compared with Liverpool at Wembley is eminently more difficult for Man City. And that's proven with the results we've had recently against you as well. I think whether you cite Liverpool as a team in transition at this point in time, looking to get back to where they are, when somebody like the new boys in town show up, who champions more recently, you're looking at gunning them down, and that's a natural reaction. I would expect the Kop to be louder than ever, and I expect City to, it's, at the end of the day, if we don't beat you at Anfield, technically, we probably don't deserve to be champions. You know, we've not taken any of the top 6 down.
Yeah.
You know, and there comes a point in the season where you go, all right, if we win every game, like you were saying before, we're 6 points behind the top 4. They run out.
Yeah.
Logic takes over, and Man City need to show up in the Premier League against, you know, a difficult team away from home.
Yeah.
We've not done that enough this season.
Is there anyone you would like to see involved in this game that maybe either was only part involved at or wasn't involved at all at the weekend?
Well, I think there's definitely, given they played extra time, that there's definitely a need really to freshen it up a bit. And it'll depend a lot on who's fit. You know, if Lovren's fit, you know, give him a run out at centre half.
Is there personally though, from your, you know, like for me, I think Origi should be playing as much football as he now in the season.
I would quite like to see Origi get a run. I mean, I thought when he came on, as I said before, he looked to really start to show his potential. You know, he looks like a guy who's comfortable on the pitch now. When he first came in this season, he looked like a little baby almost. He didn't seem to have any presence on the pitch.
Yeah.
People were saying, why is he playing up front? He only can't score goals to save his life.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a forward. Well, he looks like a forward now.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So yeah, I'd quite like to see Origi play. I'd quite like to see Brad Smith get a game.
Yeah.
Left back.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. Okay, so I want to know from the panel, we'll do score predictions in a moment, but what I want to ask first, and I'll start with you first, Dad, is who, I want you to predict man of the match, or more importantly, who do you think will be key if Liverpool are to be successful in this game?
Coutinho.
It's got to be, really.
Yeah, because it's the only one possible, really.
The man.
He plays
Man
well
City
against
game.
City, doesn't he? And again, though, you know, how much has he got left in his legs after the other day? You don't know. And that penalty may just haunt him forever.
Yeah.
It's certainly haunting me for a while. Coutinho, I suppose. Actually, to be honest, I'd love Firmino to grab the game by the scruff of the neck and do something with it.
Yeah.
You know, there were flashes of his skill the other day, but no real, nothing came out of it, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's going to be an interesting game.
Okay. Martin, from a City perspective?
I think Sergio Aguero. I think simply for the fact of the goals. You know, part of me thinks I don't think we can go to Anfield and keep a clean sheet. No matter how defensively good we were yesterday, you had when you got one chance, you scored, and there's something to be said there in that fact. Will he play Vinny Kompany? He's got to play Vincent Kompany, but we have to remember he's come back after a horrific run of injuries, and so you're looking to play 3 games in 7 days. You know, it becomes a lot, I think. So there's dilemmas for Pellegrini. I really do hope that he goes with his strongest team and then rests against Aston Villa at home, who I think we can limp through against with a lesser 11.
Hey, listen, if we can batter Villa.
Well, no, I've heard that one before. Not typical City is a phrase used for a reason.
Go on, Aubrey, what do you reckon?
I think it's probably Lucas, isn't it? If he plays at centre back again, you know, he did it. We talked about it. How the genius of Klopp, that call, the Brazilian versus the Argentine, added that little extra bit of needle to it. I don't know if he's going to start. I've done the starting 11 prediction with Martin before, and I had him starting at centre back again. And if he needs to play well, he needs to play as well as he did in the cup final. If we're going to play him at centre back against Silva and Aguero, and we're going to get anything out the game, he needs to play really well. And to be honest, look, he's becoming the best centre-back at the club. Because every time he plays at centre-back, he is really, really good. Yeah. So that's from a slightly negative position of, I think we're going to struggle. I think Sturridge starts. I don't think he finishes the game, but I think he starts. And hopefully he can kick into that. We've seen it. He comes back from an injury, he gets a goal. And then he has a lull where it takes a few games for him to get to fitness. And then he gets back to the player that we all know, and then he gets injured. So hopefully that last part doesn't happen. But it's been 3 or 4 games now where he scored his goal on his return. He has had a little bit of a lull. Hopefully he can start to get back into the scoring because, again, former club, announced himself as a big name, and he is our big name who could stand up. And
generally speaking, he does play well against City as well. He plays well against them and normally Chelsea because they're the ones he's got a bit to prove against. I think, looking at it from both perspectives, I think Kompany's the key one because you're right about that. Is that does he think? okay, well, look, we're managing his return to the team, and quite frankly, I will feel if he's not in that team on Wednesday, I'll feel we've got a real chance of winning that. Whereas for years, I will be fearful of how we go against them.
He is more likely to play this one than the next one.
Absolutely, completely. But as I say, this is the psychological impact of a player like that, because Aguero's incredible, and you know that you give him a sniff and 9 times out of 10 he'll stick it in the back of the net, as we saw at the Etihad. But as if from us, given how much we're struggling to score goals and how resolute you guys were at the weekend, that'll be a key one, I think, for Liverpool, just our mentality. And from Liverpool perspective, and I mentioned him there, for me it's Origi, because we've seen glimpses, he's had his opportunities. I don't think Sturridge will play. I think that's far. He never would have played extra time if we had another substitute. So I think he's gone above and beyond physically what he was allowed to do. I think we'll chuck him out for this game. And Origi, you know, we saw he's just coming back from injury as well. We've seen glimpses of it. I'd like to see us go back to what we were doing against Leicester City on Boxing Day. Him and Firmino, more like a 4-4-2. Try and do a little bit of what Leicester do. Sit back, try and play on the counter and use his pace to see if he can cause a threat. So it could be him. Hopefully.
I mean, the other question is whether Saka was allowed to play or not. You know, if he really did have concussion, then probably not. You know, in which case Lucas probably has to play whether he wants to or not. And then can Toure play another game so soon after that one?
Why not? He's here, you're lying. Let us know your potential predicted man of the match, or men. That was, wow, what really? South African there. Men of the match. Anyway, let us know those in the comments below. Let's have some score predictions, Dad.
I'm going to, for the first time ever, I'm going to say a draw, 1-1.
Wow.
My gut feeling says that it will be a draw and a score draw, and I think it could be a Desmond 2-2. But on the other side of the coin, I think if City don't win, there's a real part of me that thinks if we don't get the 3 points, if we get the 3 points, then suddenly it's like we've beaten Kiev, we won the League Cup final, there's momentum, and we haven't really had a great deal of momentum this season. It's been stop-start. So, yeah, my heart's saying that we need a victory.
Okay.
I was going to go 1-1 as well. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Fucking pathetic, everyone. Liverpool are going to react big time. We're going to win this one 3-1. And then we're going to probably lose the game against Palace, because that's how we roll.
Because that's us.
Yeah, let us know your predictions for score, predictions for important men of the match in the comments. In the comments section, give this video a thumbs up. Do go over and check out Blooming Rising TV, of course, for more excellent build-up to this game. We've done our combined 11s, and Martin's been over on the channel doing starting 11 predictions as well, all boss stuff. Go and check it out. Subscribe to both channels if you haven't done so already. I mean, if you haven't done so already, what's wrong with you? There's a perfect opportunity right now to rectify that and make your lives better as a result. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed yourself, and we'll see you back here soon. Ta-da.
I thought Cowlow would have started, if I'm honest, and Lucas wouldn't have played there. But having said that, I think Lucas was your man of the match. I think he was class.
Yeah, it is, again,